So before we go ahead and create a custom domain, we do have one final update to add to our code. The goal when we create the URLs, we're already adding a clicks which starts at 0. We want every time we call or open that URL, that clicks should increment by 1. Now this is very simple in DynamoDB, and that's just one of the cool things with DynamoDB. There is an expression that we can use for increment or decrement, and we're just going to use that expression to increment by 1 every time there's a redirect. So let's go ahead and add that in, and we can test that, and that should wrap up the code and functionality for a service. In the next few videos, we'll go into adding a custom domain, which would make the complete application. So let's go ahead and add that. So we're gonna do a table update. We had started this. Let's just start from scratch. So we need a table, and we're gonna do an update item. And let's just collapse that. And we need a key equal primary key, which we need to get, which is the ID. So let's grab the ID. And we're just going to create a dictionary here. So let's pass in our ID value, and we're going to get our value from item. And this is the field that we store our ID in the record. So here we're referencing the same primary key, and we can actually put our update expression equal, we're going to update expression equal, we're going to add clicks, which is the name of the field, and we're going to increment. Now we need to tell DynamoDB what the value we want to increment by. So let's expression attributes. And we want to increment by 1. So with every click, we want to perform an update. We want to grab the primary key, and we want to update the value of clicks and add 1 to the increment. And that should be it. So let's actually go ahead and save that and push up our code. So let's go ahead and test that. We're gonna open Postman, just copy one of our URLs. And if we open up CloudFormation, we're gonna open up our table, export table item, and we want to look for the last record. And here it is. Let's just make sure this is a matching value. That's correct. So we have a click, and let's try this again. And there we're getting those increments, and we can continually perform, and that's it. So now we have some analytics on our clicks, which is pretty cool. So let's create a new one, pretty much going through the same URL, but we just want to test this some more, and that should be 1. So let's see, we should have 10, 11 values now, and with a new increment. So that wraps up the code for our service, right? We're able to create, delete, get, and or redirect. We're actually added a additional index to our DynamoDB table. Of course, in Application Composer, all properties aren't visible, but if we go to our table and if we go to view table details, we can see that we're using a unique key index of shortcode, and that's how we're finding the correct URL. So when we get this shortcode, we can look up our database for matching original URL and redirect the users here. In the next few videos, we're going to add our own custom domain. This is a improvement to what typical URLs are like that we're trying to solve for. However, once we replace this with our own domain, we can probably cut this string down to a third, and that will make it a little more complete and would probably make it just a better version of something you can continue to expand on. So join me in the next few videos when we add our own domain.